Alicia moved alone into an ancient apartment on a remote small town. On her first day there, the landlord handed her a weathered note with a grave expression, saying, "Nighttime rules. Do not open the door after sunset. Do not investigate strange sounds, from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Keep your curtains drawn and stay silent in the bedroom. Violating these rules will have consequences." Alicia took it as a joke and didn't pay much attention to it. As night fell, the small town was plunged into darkness, and an eerie silence filled the air. Alicia was sitting in the living room, watching TV, when suddenly, a sharp knock on the door echoed through the stillness. She stood up and glanced at the note, hesitating. The knocking continued, followed by a faint voice pleading, "Help me, let me in." Alicia felt a surge of pity but reminded herself of the rule. She struggled to resist the urge to open the door. The knocking slowly faded away. Moments later, a strange scratching sound came from outside the window, as if someone were dragging their nails across the glass. Alicia's curiosity got the better of her, and she moved toward the window, only to remember the rule once more. She gripped the edge of her clothing, curled up on the couch, and waited for the sound to stop, which took a long time. The clock struck 3 a.m., and Alicia's exhaustion vanished. Following the rules, she retreated to her bedroom, pulling the curtains shut tightly. The room was so quiet it felt unnatural, and she could hear her own heartbeat echoing in the stillness. Suddenly, she heard a faint creak at the bedroom door, as though someone had lightly pushed it open. Alicia froze, staring at the door in terror, holding her breath. The door slowly rocked back and forth, but never fully opened. Time passed, and eventually, Alicia drifted off into a restless sleep. The morning sun woke her, and she assumed the previous night's events were nothing but a vivid nightmare. However, as she stepped out of the bedroom, she noticed long scratches on the glass of the living room window, as if something sharp had scraped across it. Intrigued, Alicia asked the neighbors about the nighttime rules. The responses were unsettling, everyone seemed to grow pale and hesitant to speak. Finally, an elderly woman whispered that the apartment had once been the scene of a strange murder. The victim's vengeful spirit had never left, and now it wandered at night. The rules were there to protect the tenants from being disturbed by the restless spirit. That night, the strange events returned. The knocking, the eerie sounds, everything resumed as before. Alicia gritted her teeth and adhered to the rules. At 3 a.m., she heard the familiar noise at her bedroom door. Unable to resist, she switched on the bedside lamp. Instantly, the room was bright as day, and she saw a blurry, dark shadow vanish quickly from the doorway. From then on, Alicia's nights were plagued by fear, but she followed the rules religiously. Over time, she discovered that sprinkling salt around the door and windows before nightfall seemed to reduce the frequency of the strange sounds and shadows. She shared this trick with the other tenants, and soon, everyone began to follow suit. Days passed, and the nights in the small town seemed less terrifying. Yet, whenever the evening approached, Alicia would instinctively check the doors and windows, muttering the rules to herself, knowing that the mysterious force continued to lurk in the darkness, waiting to strike.